Yes, you will. Let's talk about it. What's up, fam? Pull up a seat. Today we're in Exodus 36 through 38. We're still talking about construction of the tabernacle, and we're going to go through these chapters kind of fast because this has already been discussed back in Exodus 25 through 31. And you can go back and reference these 3 videos where I talk about it. Let's go. Exodus 36, the only header, construction of the tabernacle. Now this chapter goes into a little more detail, but there's just 6 verses that I want to highlight real quick. I'm not going to tell you the verse number because I want you to find them. And they received from Moses all the contribution that the people of Israel had brought for doing the work on the sanctuary. They still kept bringing him free will offerings every morning, so that all the craftsmen who were doing every sort of task on the sanctuary came, each from the task that he was doing. And he said to Moses, "The people bring much more than enough for doing the work that the Lord has commanded us to do." So Moses gave command, and word was proclaimed throughout the camp, "Let no man or woman do anything more for the contribution of the sanctuary." So the people were restrained from bringing, for the material they had was sufficient to do all the work and more. The people's heart was so generous, they brought too much. So Moses was like, "Whoa, we got enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But please stop." That's it. Moving on. Exodus 37, which talks about making the ark, making the table, making the lampstand, making the altar of incense, which was all talked about in previous chapters. So instead of reading verses, I'm just going to tell you where to find where this was talked about previously. Making the ark, the table, the lampstand was all talked about in Exodus 25. Making the altar of incense was talked about in Exodus 30. Now it says Bezalel made all these things, but obviously he doesn't. He was probably in charge of all these things. There was many people who were there to help. This is just like those HTV shows where they're flipping houses and the people in charge are on camera talking about, "Oh, we have this and this and this to do, blah, 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 blah." And then behind the scenes, you see all the workers working. Not saying they don't do any work. I'm just saying. Exodus 38, the same thing. It talks about making the altar of burnt offering, making the bronze basin, making the court, making the altar of burnt offering and making the court was all talked about in Exodus 27. And making the bronze basin was talked about in Exodus 30. Last header of this chapter is materials for the tabernacle. Now this is just basically a record of all the materials that were used: the gold, the silver, the bronze, and the manpower. And that's it. And so this has got me thinking. Eventually I can picture it in the Bible. There's pictures of it. Then I started thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have a life-size version of this tabernacle? Well, guess what? There is one, but it's in Israel. So if you're there, go check it out. But if not, look up this YouTube video. This lady gives a lot of information, and it's basically like you're going on a guided tour. And there's other videos of people who have gone there that you can watch as well. That's it, fam. Let me know when we found all the verses. Let's go together.